We now head to South Africa, where the South African Office of the Presidency says that the latest move by the United States to expel South Africa's Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool is regrettable. Now, this follows a tweet by the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, who announced that Rasool has been branded persona non grata in the country following an address by the ambassador in which he criticized U.S. President Donald Trump. In the address, Rasool accused Trump of leading a global white supremacist movement and breaking down established norms and practices when it comes to diplomacy. Now, this move by the U.S. represents the further escalation in the diplomatic feud between Washington and Pretoria. Following the statement, President Cyril Ramaphosa's office has urged all relevant and impacted stakeholders to maintain the established diplomatic decorum in their engagement on the matter. To further discuss this, I'm joined by Sydney Monnakgotla, his president of Safe South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us on the news, Sydney.
Good morning to you and good morning to your viewers at home.
Good morning.
And thank you for having me here.
It's a pleasure. Now, what was your initial reaction to the expulsion of the South African ambassador to the U.S.?
For quite a while, we've been observing the silence from the president since the tensions began between the two nations. One would recall that there was a group of white people represented by AfriForum who went to the United States and spread lies about our country. And as a movement, we felt that our president could have taken initiatives to engage the president of the United States, and not through social media, but we felt that he could have done something better, like, observe and respect the diplomatic protocol of engagement.
Now, speaking of diplomatic calling on engagement, we know that recently the U.S. actually cut ties, they cut aid funding to, South Africa, and now we're seeing this happening. That's the expulsion of South Africa's ambassador to the U.S. Now, can you tell us how all this has actually affected diplomatic communications between the U.S. and South Africa?
It is clear that the tension now is escalating between South Africa and America. Look, we are not saying that what Donald Trump is doing is correct, or we are not saying that what the president of South Africa is doing is wrong. What we are simply saying is that this can be avoided. You see, the president of South Africa immediately when after the AfriForum has went to America and spoken lies, and Donald Trump making statements through the social media, we say to our president must have taken an effort, like communicate with formally with the office of the president of America. And you see, if he has taken all those initiatives and they were rejected by the White House or the President Trump, then we would understand to say that, but yes, you tried your level best, but you were rejected. But he has not done anything else. The only thing that he did as the President of South Africa, he was addressing the public here in South Africa and say that we are not going to be bullied by America, we are not going to be bullied. But that's not how you manage the tensions, particularly between the trade partners. He was supposed to have formalized the engagement with the President of America and ensure that the tensions don't escalate. Now, his silence diplomacy now has led to Ebrahim Rasool being expelled from America. We believe that this is as a result of not doing anything by our president.
So what's next for trade relations between the U.S. and South Africa if he decides, because you did say that there's a pressure mounting on him to speak to the president of the U.S., but what if he doesn't?
Sorry, come again, I missed the question.
I'm asking what's next for the trade relations, when it comes to U.S. and South Africa if President Ramaphosa does not, take the initiative to, speak to Donald Trump about everything going on between both countries?
Look, should we allow the tension to escalate further, that will have a very devastating consequences in both countries, not only in South Africa. Remember that America is one of our largest trade partners, and our economy still depends on America, and even them, their economy still relied on us. But here we are speaking on behalf of majority of our people, those who will be affected by the negative tensions between the countries. There are a lot of companies from America which are investing in South Africa, which have created jobs here in South Africa. Now, if such the tensions between the two countries so sour up, but we don't want to get there. We don't want the situation to arrive at that stage. We are saying this can only be avoided. The two, our president must swallow his pride and go and communicate with America, because we don't want to see our people being left out of work. We don't want to see businesses closing in South Africa. We don't want to see South Africans who are employed in America or those who are doing businesses have to come back home and be jobless and start suffering here. So because these tensions will lead to a very devastating consequences. We know that ultimately you might find that the AGOA trade agreement is being suspended, and where will it leave this country then?
All right. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us and your thoughts on this, Sydney. And we hope that your president does something soon about this.
No, we highly appreciate that, and we hope that he will do the right thing. Thank you, for the benefit of the country.
Absolutely.